Good morning. It's Johnny Sunshine. How you guys doing, man? It is very early for Johnny. Be getting up at like 6 o'clock, man. I was up at like 5:45 today. And I was like, what the fuck am I doing up, man? So I went back to sleep, but it's Friday. I don't know what the date is. I don't really care. But I gotta take today off. I have to get my truck. A seal has gone on my truck or something with the brakes in the back. So it's dangerous. My fix up in the front is still working, but when you got a truck that is pretty heavy, loaded down, you need all four brakes working. So I called a guy that I've used in the past on all my other trucks. He does great work. Randy's Brakes here in Sarasota on 17th Street. Put a little shout out to him. Called him up yesterday on the phone, left him a message. I said, and this guy just does brakes. That's it, man. He's got a 3 or 4 bay business. And all he does is brakes, man. He knows he does this shit in his sleep. So I call him up, tell him what I have in a message. Year, make, gross vehicle weight, all this shit. And tell him what I want done. I said I want 4 new rotors, 4 new calipers, seals, bearings, the whole 9 yards. I said, if you could get me a price together, please, I appreciate it. He calls me back. He says it'll be $2,400. $2,400. Those other assholes wanted to charge me $5,500, man. You know what I think they were doing? They were probably going to have Randy do the job and double their fucking money, those scumbags. I'll never go back there again. And if I took Tony Plumbob's advice, I would have gave him the $5,000. That fucking dope. If something doesn't feel right, it probably isn't, you know? If you feel like you're getting screwed, you probably are, man. So this guy, Randy, I always liked the way he ran his business. He's cocky, he fucking knows his shit, and he runs a tight ship. Unfortunately, he can't even talk. It was kind of weird talking to him yesterday because he's got cancer, man. He's going through cancer treatments right now. He said, I need to get my truck at his shop at like 8:15. He said, they get there at 8, but they need 15 minutes to open up. So if you could come at 8:15, which I'll be there on the nose. But talking to him, he must have some kind of throat cancer. Because he's like, when you talk to him on the phone, yes, is how he's talking. And I feel for the guy, man. It just seems like almost every job you go to, man, somebody's dealing with cancer. It's a very, very toxic environment we live in. Between the air that we breathe, the food that we eat, chemicals, man. Our bodies don't know how to fucking react to them. I can tell you that my brother was a mechanic. Second oldest brother. And he died at 68 years old from lung cancer. The guy never smoked a day in his life, but he was a mechanic. Back in the days where, they had asbestos brake pads, and he'd pull out, and drum brakes for the most part. You pull them drums off, and the first thing you do is drop it on the fucking ground to shake that shit out. And unfortunately, there's a cloud of dust that comes with that. And he was also in the military. He was a machinist mate in the Coast Guard. So he was down in the engine room just like I was. and it bit him, you know? It took his life. He didn't want to fight it, man. And I feel bad that when it comes to him and his cancer battle, he kind of was like, I don't know how severe. He didn't let anybody know he even had cancer until, you know, a month before he died. He kept his cards close to his vest. But he decided not to go through a lung transplant. And I can tell you, I have 2 or 3 customers who've had lung transplants, and they're doing good. They're not walking around with hoses hanging out of their nose for oxygen and all that shit. This one lady, she had a double lung transplant, and she's strong as hell. It's all about the fire that you have, and it saddens me to think that my brother, you know, didn't want to fight, man. He didn't want to fight through that shit. But he died at 68, same age as my father. He died 10 days, my brother died 10 days after his birthday. And my father died 10 days after his birthday. And it's kind of weird, man. I mean, literally, their lifespan, the two of them, their lifespan was within 24 hours of each other, man. From the time they were born till the time they died, which was kind of weird, you know? I mean, it was something that made you think, but for whatever reason, he didn't want to fight it. I don't know what his actual condition was. Maybe he wasn't, maybe they said, you're not going to be able to do a lung transplant, but he was cool with it. We were hanging around, the whole family was there. And unfortunately, it was the first time I'd ever seen, and I didn't even see him pass away, man. I don't know why. I know I had to close his eyes after he passed away, and I closed my mom's eyes when she died. The terrible thing. But can you imagine if the last thing your eyes fucking see in this world is my fucking mug? Let me close your eyes for you. Yeah. None of us get out of here alive, guys. So what I gotta do on my truck is hope I can get it from my house to his business, which is about 3 miles, without killing anybody or running into a fucking tree or something. But he wants me to clean the back out. And I'm like, come on, man. Really? It's all about weight. That's why he wanted to know what the gross vehicle weight was, because he knows how much his jacks, his lifts can take, you know? But I don't have anything in my back of my truck, really, but the normal shit, besides 3 water heater boxes. But this guy's going to do these brakes brand new, all new shoes all the way around, new bearings, everything. And I got a couple of new rotors on that truck and a brand new caliper. That's what I replaced when I did my work. I definitely want to retrieve them. And if those rotors that are in there, if he can cut them, I know a lot of the new rotors, you know, they don't even have enough meat on them to actually cut them anymore. He's basically a throwaway part. But if he can cut them, and he's got 3 or 4 brake cutting machine, you know, rotor cutting machines, because I have 4-wheel disc brakes. The rear brakes, the rear rotor actually has an emergency brake on the inside of the drum, on the inside. It's kind of strange. I really don't give a shit about the emergency brakes, to be honest with you. They seem to fail, and they just become an issue. So, I'm 60 years old. I've never had to, you know, use an emergency brake. Most people can't think that fast. Oh shit, let me hit the emergency brake. As you're fucking careening towards a pool or a pond somewhere. So anyways, it's Friday. Thank God. It was a great week, productive week. Little bit of drama, which I think is good. Got a lot of shit, cleared the air on some stuff. I think that this is the code book that I have, 2010. It may be a newer edition, but I can tell you that this book right here, this was when I got my journeyman license, 1988. This was the code book. And this is this is the code book. And then I also have this one, which is the handbook, which really is a great, it's a set, man. This elaborates on the actual code. It tells you what their intent is by it, The code is in, red, and then the explanation is in black. So it really clears things up. And a lot of the stuff that I know, like a minimum air gap, a lot of guys are going to just tell you half the pipe size. Well, if it's an 1/8 inch pipe, does that mean that it's a 1/4 inch air gap? No, it does not. The minimum air gap is 2 inches. Because when you're figuring air gap, 1 inch pipe is the minimum size you can use. You don't use a 1/2 inch pipe so that, you have a 1 inch air gap. The smallest air gap by code is 2 inches, not to exceed 6 inches. Well, yeah, on a relief valve anyways. Anyways, I'm going to try to get into this code book for you guys. This 2010, there probably aren't too many changes in 14 years. There's probably some addendums to that. But I want to start going through this code maybe once or twice a week. I'll read like on water heaters or, plumbing, drilling. I see a lot of guys, they're not drilling holes right out on jobs. They're just blowing big ass holes through things. There's a code in here about over drilling. They cover everything pretty much. So I want to get into the code book for you young guys and for some of you old guys. I mean, I took my test I've been a master plumber for damn near 30 years or something. So you gotta refresh your mind, man. You gotta refresh, Jackson. Push the refresh key. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna try to get some footage, man, of this brake job. I know my shit's in bad shape, but we're gonna get tightened up here this week. Monday morning, Johnny's gonna have a truck that he can stop. No noises, no crunching, no fucking, I know I got a bad fucking thing going on my back left tire. So I'm gonna be rolling with some new bearings, some new fucking brake pads, new calipers, new seals, all greased up for all you guys who've been losing sleep over that bearing in the front of my truck. I'm gonna get all new ones and repack them, and yeah, Johnny's gonna be good, Jackson. Have a great day. It's Friday, boys. If you can, take the day off. If you can't, try to go home early at least, Be safe. Be proud. You're a plumber. My fucking eyes are killing me. Hey guys, Johnny Sunshine here. It's about 8:30 Friday morning. Fucking my truck needed to go see the doctor this morning. Yeah. Randy's brakes, Jackson. He knows his shit. He does brakes. And he does them for a fucking reasonable price. He's been here for 30 fucking years. And he ain't ripping people off like them assholes that gave me a $5,000 price for this shit. Over $5,000. All new rotors, bearings, calipers, brake pads, and seals. 100% new. But Johnny's stuck here right now. I'm waiting for my boy. Kid who used to work for me, he's gonna come pick me up, and I'm gonna go help him, man. Hang out with him this morning, work with him, try to help him out. See if he needs my help, the old man. There she is. Johnny Sunshine. She's a beast. United States Navy. That's the tattoo on my arm. Guys, this truck, the power tailgate, all this shit, it is, even if it cost me $10,000 to get this thing, the air conditioning fixed and all that, I couldn't buy a truck like this for less than 80, 90,000. A good one. They have Fords down there on the lot that are similar to this, but the beds, I can tell this utility body is not as stout as this one. This is a 2003 with a V10 with a little over 100,000 miles on it. This boy's got a long way to go, Jackson. Water heaters. Call me, you'll have a new one within an hour, Jackson. Hey guys, Johnny Sunshine here. Yep, my buddy Sean, he's actually my nephew. Guy used to work for me, now he owns his own business. He's putting a tub in for a customer, and I needed a ride home from the brake shop, and he came and picked me up, and I said, hey man, I want to help you today for free. I'll be your fucking helper. Check him out, sweating his motherfucking ass off.
How you doing?
How you doing?
Hey, forget about it.
Hey, how you doing, motherfucker? So we just put this tub in. Cemented the bitch in, dropped it in a bed of mud. It's all good, perfectly level. Shoes nice and centered. We got a little secret on how to do that. We ain't gonna share it with you. We don't want to tell you guys too much. But yeah, we're all good here. We're both soaking fucking wet. Is this your grinder? No. This is your bucket.
There's a hole in the bucket.
There's a hole in the bucket, dear Liza, dear Liza. I'm telling you, man, I think I was black in another life. I'm telling you. All right, I gotta check my phone because somebody called me, and it may have been the brake guy. My man Sean. Sean, I'm gonna highlight your business, okay? Show that side of that truck. You wanna talk about making America great again? This kid right here is a motherfucking prime example of making America great again. You see this business? He's got the same plumbing license I have, Mike Pipes has, and every other plumber in Florida. Kid owns his own fucking business. He came to work for me. Safe to say he was probably on the wrong path back then, a little bit. I was, you know, we all have been. But he turned his fucking life around, and he is a fucking success story. Big time. He knows I love him. He's like a brother to me, man. I can count on this guy. He's got my back. There ain't many motherfuckers I can say that about. Hey guys, I'm still with this fucking jamoke I used to work with. He won't let me go home. Motherfucker's got me holding me hostage. He said, we gotta go do a water heater right now. And I said, well, I'm down. Let's do it, man. Let's go get her done. and that's what we're gonna do. Johnny's working. I'm hoping this shit we can work all fucking day, and then he can drop me off and pick my truck up. Jack. All right, see you. Hey guys, so we just finished this water heater. Unfortunately for the owner, he had a bad water heater, and then the place flooded, you know. The fucking house, the apartment's empty. And he said he wasn't sure what caused the leak, the water heater or a leak under the slab. So we did a pressure test on the system, and sure enough, he's got a fucking massive leak under his slab on a 3/4 inch copper line. Seems to be a huge influx of copper pipes going bad in the last few weeks. Getting a lot of calls for leaks under the slab. It may have something to do with all the lightning and the way we ground copper in houses down here. Whatever the case is, his house needs to be repiped, and it's the association's responsibility to do it, which is, now it's a good time. It's empty, nobody's living in there. But he just, you know, he had to pay for a water heater. But now at least the association is responsible for the fucking cleanup from that leak, which is huge money. And I gave him a little bit of advice, man, for you guys out there, and plumbers deal with it all the time. I had rental property, and unfortunately one of them flooded, and I had a remediation company come out, and I didn't have I had the, you know, structural insurance through the HOA, but I didn't have contents insurance because it was just too expensive, and I had 4 units, and I actually saved probably $60,000 over 10 years by self-insuring. So I called them up and I had to pay them. But when I got the bill from them, it was probably $6,000-$7,000. And fortunately for me, my nephew is in remediation. Worked for ServPro up there in Boston. I called them up. I said, listen, I'm going to list off all the equipment they said they had in my 1,200 square foot unit. And I told him, and he said, that's enough equipment to dry out a fucking 10,000 square foot house. And my unit on the first floor was literally only like 700 square feet. So they were trying to fucking rip me off. And there's shocks everywhere in the water down here, guys. So I called the guy up and I said, listen, I'm not paying this fucking bill. And this is how this is gonna go. I'm not paying the bill. You can put a fucking lien on the property, and I'll take you to court, and I'll have my nephew come in, and he'll fucking be my witness to go over all this equipment you say that you had in my house, which you didn't have. And you can choose. I'll either cut you a check right now for like $2,000 or 1,800 bucks, and we'll call it a fucking day, or I'll see you in court. And he took the 1,800 bucks, man. So my point is, if you ever use remediation companies, I just told this homeowner, go around and take pictures of every bit of fucking equipment in there, in that unit, make a videotape of it, because they fucking rip you off, man. That's what they do. Unfortunately, a lot of shocks, man. So it's all good. He did what I told him to do. He took pictures of everything, and then he walked around and made a video of the whole fucking place. So if they try to, you know, and he should tell the manager that he's done that, because they'll send a bill to the management company and they'll just stroke him a fucking check, man. So little tech tip for you from Johnny Sunshine. My truck is almost ready. 100% new brakes, bearings, seals, all that shit. He's gonna drop me off. I worked all day for my buddy, and he bought me lunch, and he wants to split the money on this water heater, which I'm gonna do it for free unless he forces me to take some money, you know what I mean? I mean, what the fuck? Mama told me, said, don't ever say no to somebody who's trying to give you fucking money. So, anyways, it was fun working with him. He's a smart guy. He works like a fucking, he works like he did when he worked for me. We just double timed. That's a Navy term, boot camp. Double time, sailor. Double time, recruit. And that meant get your ass, shake a leg, motherfucker, move it. Run. And that's how we work, man. Anyways, have a great day. I'm hoping eventually this guy comes back so I can interview him, my boy Sean, and we'll go from there. I'm gonna pick my truck up, and I hope that motherfucker's just running like a charm. All right, see you. Hey guys, Johnny Sunshine here. Look at that son bitch. Looking good, man. Looking good. That was the caliper that I put in last month, but she's gonna give me that back. But yeah, we're all brand new, man, all the way around. He's just finishing up that last wheel. That one looks like it's all brand new. Very nice. You can see that's an old one. Oh, he's got one more wheel to do. See, these are the problem, that damn emergency brake. The emergency brake actually brakes on the inside of the drum, or you know, the drum portion of this rotor. That rotor don't look too bad. Yeah, it's cut. It's all fucked up. How's it going, my man?
Hey, what's up?
Look like you've been working since the last time I saw you. You want? Hey, I got a YouTube channel, man. You want to say hello?
Egg roll. What?
I have a YouTube channel. You want to say hello?
Not really.
Okay.
Okay, cable,
Let's see what we got here. So tell me, what did we do with the pads and the emergency brakes? They're all the same?
No, it's got shoes inside the rotor.
Right. Are they the same ones, or did you change them?
They were fine.
Okay, that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, we didn't touch that. I cleaned up all the grease.
Yep.
From the seal.
From the seal that was leaking. I thought that was the one that went bad.
Yeah, it was just other than that, you can see your rotor.
That was all fucked up, huh? Yeah, Johnny probably should have came in a little earlier, huh? No wonder why it sounded like hell when I was trying to stop. That's what having no fucking money will do to you. That's what happens to people who are poor. They can't afford to fix their shit, you know? Unfortunately. That's what happened to me.
Yep.
Well, that shit's looking nice and shiny, man. Woo!
That's what we do.
All brand new. All brandy new, boys. Johnny gonna be styling for the next 10 years, Jackson. This is a 20-year-old truck that should work just fine for a long time. So just for you guys who are wondering about that bearing up in the front, that you guys thought I didn't have enough grease in it, I did take that back apart, not fully, but I believe I was able to squeeze some grease in there. Anyways, the spindle was in good condition. He didn't have any issues taking that shit apart. And according to Randy, this guy, the brake guy, he said that the void inside those drums, or the rotors, he said they packed that full of grease, so there's no air space. And he said, you know, you may get a little bit of grease dripping out for the first couple of weeks or a week. He said that won't be an issue, but this guy knows his shit. He knows brakes. He's been doing this for a very long time. I feel totally confident in what he's doing, and it's all gonna be good. Hey guys, we got the sneakers back on the truck. I got an issue with my tailgate now. I can see oil's dripping out of it. I was kind of concerned about that whatchamacallit, the ball joint that I put in, and I took this opportunity while I had the wheels off. It's supposed to be torqued down, I don't know, to 40 or something pounds. I didn't have the right wrench to do that. Couldn't get the torque wrench with a socket in there. I needed an open-end wrench. So anyways, I talked to this guy and we took care of that. We put the right torque on that ball joint, so everything should be good. Just a matter of dropping it. I guess he's going to take it for a test drive, and then that'll be the end of it. It'll be done, Jackson. Hopefully that'll be the last time I have to do this, man. I don't have a lot of miles on that truck. So hopefully it'll be all good, man. Johnny Sunshine, rolling, rolling, rolling. Keep them doggies rolling. Brakes are feeling good, man. That one rotor in the back was really, the rest of them didn't look bad at all. It was that one, that fucking ring popped off or something. It's pretty bad shape, but I feel good now. This thing should be rolling with no issues for the next 10 fucking years. Maybe someday I'll fix my air conditioning, but I don't mind it, to be honest with you, man. It makes life easier when you're not going from air to hot, air to hot, air to hot. You get sick, man. I feel pretty good today. I worked for my kid who used to work for me, just helping him out. And had a great day, man. Had lunch with him, and somebody called about a water heater, and went through that motherfucker in. I mean, it couldn't have taken us more than 30 minutes. By the time I had that thing pumped down and out, he came in the house with the fucking water heater already dressed out, and we threw that bitch in the hole, got the fuck out of Dodge, Jack. And then the homeowner started, well, I got one more fucking thing I want to look at, you know. Oh, these brakes feel good, man. Woo, Jackson. Feeling blessed today, man. I'm feeling blessed. What the fuck is wrong with me? It's Friday, guys. Have a great weekend, man. God bless America. Just on a final note, I want to say that, you know, for me, as a white man in America, I don't worry so much about me. I worry about my vote is more about other people. Women, gays, lesbians, immigrants, people with brown skin. I just wanted to say that, man. It's not about me. A white male, I'm gonna be fine in this country. My vote is not for me, man. I don't have to worry. It's more about, it's for other people. What's gonna happen to them? So anyways, I just want to end on that note. Have a great weekend, and we'll see what comes in next week, guys. Maybe I'll work all weekend. Who knows?